Hey everybody, how's it going? So this is just I don't know how to really like structure this, but this is just going to be a series of hopefully regular uh hopefully regular unscripted progress videos about like where I am, what I'm doing, all that kind of stuff. It's all going to be on this second channel primarily because as I'm working on the stuff for the main channel, hopefully it gives a little bit more information as to what's going on and potentially why. If there are any delays or that kind of stuff, I'll try and mention it, but this is just where things are at the moment. Um, One thing I want to mention is that if you have any questions about any topics that you would like for me to discuss, please leave it in the comments and I will maybe talk about that next time. Um, but realistically, so to give everybody an update on where I am in terms of content creation, I'm still working on material. I'm still trying to get interview content, and I am still trying to go out and get B-roll footage. It is a little bit more difficult because like content creation is not my full-time job. Um, and so I have like a full time job and I have to like book days off or something like that. Anytime I have to go travel, I have to, spend money and go and travel and all that kind of stuff to get footage. This could be more or less expensive or more or less difficult. So sometimes it could take more or less time depending upon how much or how little money I have at any particular moment. I'm also getting married uh, at the end of this year. So a lot of money, a lot of my own personal money has been tied up with trying to figure out the logistics of that kind of stuff. So that's why there's been so much radio silence on my end. I'm really sorry about that. But so today, what are we talking about today? So out here in snowy Sapporo, it's been kind of a bad situation because there's been a lot of snow. There's like been more snow than I think they've ever had. Like it's like record landfall amounts of snow, which is absolutely wild. The JR is the so if anybody who's not familiar, the JR is the Japan Railways. They're the ones who run most of the trains. It's completely blocked up until only kind of a few hours ago. It had been entirely been suspended, so you just have tons and tons of people at the airport or at the station. It's absolutely ridiculous, and so it's nuts. It's completely nuts, and there's just so many people just blocked there. It's where I am, where the JR station at my location, it is kind of running, but there's this huge long line that just literally stretches out from the station all the way to the shopping malls that it's connected to. So there's just so many people there. It's actually kind of insane. Luckily for me, I take the subway to work, so there's not really the same kind of congestion, but it is still kind of bad. And in general, around this time of the year, it is really, really rough overall because you just get a lot of tourists. They're coming for the snow festival, which is usually in early February, where they got like all the big ice sculptures and stuff like that. So there's just a lot of things going on at this moment with regards to the city. Been keeping myself trying to stay busy and healthy with regards to my physical health, and so that I've been going to a regular gym in been going to a regular gym in my local area. Gyms in Japan are kind of interesting because gyms in Japan are actually quite expensive for what you get. Like here, I'm paying about $30 a month for a gym, and it's only that gym specifically. And you don't really get a lot of the extra amenities. Like they really nickel and dime you here. And I think it's because like a lot of gyms are fitness clubs, and so their main clientele is not dudes getting yoked. It's people who want to slim down. And so I think like the healthy aesthetic is a little bit different, um, because you all of the advertising for very specific gyms are always like this person is, it's always like a thin, like attractive woman doing like barbell squats or something, and then she's like there to like get thin. And all of the promotional material for all like the big gyms here, like Chokozap, Rizap, Joyfit, like a lot of those places, they're all like people who are like thin, like really thin, but not like yoked. There are gyms that have like yoked people, but they're not that common. So it's actually kind of an interesting dynamic here, which is really funny because um, a lot of the gyms here are also not called gyms. They're called like clubs because it's referring to fitness clubs. So you got to go to like this fitness club or that fitness club. And ironically, the places that are called gyms are they're cram schools. So that's really goofy. But yeah, there's also a million personal trainers, at least in Sapporo. There's a million personal trainers, and there's so many of them. And hilariously, a whole bunch of them are my friends, and they're all really into boxing. Like it's always like kickboxing. It's always Muay Thai, which I've kind of noticed that seems to be the recurring theme that when it comes to like quote unquote normie Sapporo people, which is if you're a young Sapporo normie, your hobby is probably going to like cafes or like boxing. Like all of the people I've met so far, like those have been their two great hobbies. It's just, yeah, I love going to cafes, or dude, we have a fight club. So, yes, yeah, it's kind of interesting. But yeah, no, overall, it's been kind of chill. Next week we've got for on a personal development. Next week we got like a gas person coming because the gas that we have, I think there's a reading error because our gas consumption has not increased uh, since the previous reading, but it went from like $100 on kerosene to like $900. So there's very clearly some kind of error that's happening with the kerosene reading because our we're worried that there might be some kind of leak or something, but we don't smell it, and like the monoxide detector is not detecting anything about that. So that's kind of something that's been worrying us a little bit so far. But yes, that is pretty much it. If you have any questions about what you would like for me to discuss on the next update, which will be next week, please leave it in the comments. I will do my best to talk about it. If I don't know a lot about it, I might not be able to say much about it, so I do apologize, but I don't know. Maybe, maybe I've experienced something that might be fun, or I have no idea. So yes, thank you very much. Like I said, this is sort of like a video diary of sorts, which really outs me as a little bit of a boomer because I'm still using YouTube like a video diary, like an old man, like 2005 to 2010 YouTube, I guess. But let me know. Uh, and yeah, progress on the next video is coming along. It's a little tricky getting a lot of footage for like anime and stuff because copyright laws are like really tough here, so it's a little tricky, a little difficult here. But if you have any questions, let me know, and so on and so forth. Yes, it's a little tricky, but I'm still doing it.